Hi guys, welcome to my first episode ever of Se Llorar. I can't believe we are here today. It's very nerve-wracking to say the least, but it's also very exciting, honestly. I am very excited to speak upon something that I'm very passionate about. This episode, I just want to give you guys a brief introduction of myself, the reason behind the name, and the purpose of this whole podcast. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. As many of you guys know, my name is Brenda. I am 29 years young. Um, I was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, but raised in Inglewood, California, practically my whole life. We resided to Victorville, California about 3 years ago, I want to say. Yeah, we love it out here. I know they say that you have to at least move out of your hometown at least one time in your whole life. I know it's not for everybody, but me personally, I am happy to be out of the city. If you are from Inglewood or if you ever lived in Inglewood, you know how hectic it has become since living in by the stadium, by the forum. It's just become so hectic that it was such a good change for me. I needed that, and I'm so happy to be out here. I am a mommy of three beautiful baby girls, two earthside and one in heaven. My angel girl, Renita Michaela Gonzalez, was born May 26, 2023, at 26 weeks gestation, and she lived 12 hours and passed away that very same day. She is my biggest purpose to this podcast. She's the reason that I'm here. She's the reason that I have learned how to grieve, and she is my purpose. So, whenever I'm speaking about anything that has to do with grief, just know that she is right behind it all. I don't want to go into too much detail about her passing. I am going to share that story with you guys, but I want to make that a whole episode just dedicated to her. So I know a lot of people have a lot of questions, and I am definitely going to answer everything very openly. I am not going to hold back on anything that has to do with her. I want to share my story, and I want everyone to know that we lost moms have gone through one of the biggest loss of our life. And I just want to be able to say her story and share what happened to me. And maybe it can help somebody else. Maybe um, it can help a family. And I just want to be clear that yes, my biggest purpose is Renita. And yes, I am a lost mom, but I want to make this podcast an open podcast to any griever, not just the lost mom, but a person that has lost a grandparent, a person that has lost a parent, a sister, a brother, a cousin, anyone really close to you that you feel like is your biggest loss. Because, yes, I feel like my biggest loss has been my daughter, but not everyone has lost a child before. So I just feel like maybe to me is my biggest loss, but everyone feels losses differently. So I want to make sure that you guys know that this podcast isn't mainly about baby lost, even though that's the purpose behind this. She was my purpose, and that's why I'm here. But I want this to be an open podcast for any grievers. So you guys are more than welcome to share your stories with me. And I want to also let you guys know the reason behind the name. The reason behind the name is such a big reason, you guys. Se Vale Llorar, it became something that I constantly kept repeating to myself. It became something that I repeat to myself almost daily. Um, I just had to remind myself that it's okay to cry, because I had so many people tell me not to cry. So many people tell me to let her rest in peace, that if I keep crying, she's not going to rest in peace. And it's crazy, because I know in a lot of Hispanic cultures, we tend to think that the more you cry, the more you drown yourself into depression, the more you feel sadness. And I'm here to tell you that that is not true. I'm here to tell you that the more you cry, the more you heal. Yes, it's very sad to see any family member cry and be devastated over the loss of anyone. It's not just the loss of a baby, it's just sometimes the sadness creeps up on you, and some people can't help but feel what they feel. Some people can't put that sadness aside like others, and I just feel like it definitely became something that I kept reminding myself. To all my English speakers, I do want to translate this. I know I don't have just Spanish speakers. Se vale llorar means it's okay to cry. And that's what I constantly kept repeating to myself. It's okay to cry. It's okay. It's okay. Everything you feel, all the emotions you feel, those good days, those good hours, those bad hours, it's all okay. It all comes in waves. Nothing is ever gonna be like it was before. They say that a part of you dies the day that the person that passed away died. And although it's something that not a lot of people like to hear, it's something that people don't like to hear. Like, what do you mean a part of you died? And it's true, because life will never be the same anymore. You will never get that the person you used to be back anymore. That person is gone, even though, like I said, a lot of people hate to hear it. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable to hear that a part of you died with that person, but it's very much true. And I know that we were raised to be strong, to that it's part of life, that everything that life throws at you is part of life, and you just gotta wing with it. And it kind of sucks to know that not a lot of people would sit there and tell you that it's okay to cry. Not a lot of people, it's something rarely heard by people. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel what you feel. And I feel like in my journey, the people that have told me that maybe have not gone through a loss like mine, but they've gone through a big loss that they feel is their biggest loss. And those people have been the people that tell me it's okay to cry. Those people have told me to let my emotions, to just feel every emotion that I feel. And shout out to you guys, because you guys made me feel less crazy. During grief, it's just a wave of emotions that you don't even know, like, if it's okay to feel certain ways sometimes. Sometimes the way you feel is very, very strong, very like you feel like you're going insane in your head. And I'm just here to tell you guys that you're not. You're not going insane. It's part of the motion, and you have to let yourself feel everything that you feel. There's no way around it. There's no shortcuts. I wish there was. I feel like for the first month after Reinita passed away, I laid in my bed, crying in deep sadness, and I found myself waiting for someone to come rescue me, or waiting for the sadness to magically just go away. Like, I thought maybe the more I lay in my bed, maybe the more I just lay here, like it would all kind of just go away magically. And and it didn't. And no one came to save me. And even though I had a lot of support from a lot of people, my fiance, one of my biggest supporters, there was no shortcut to it. I had to feel all the emotions that I felt. I had to cry. I had to scream. I had to ask why like 20 times a day. I was overthinking it all. Maybe I could have done this differently. Maybe I could have done this. And it was something hard to deal with in the beginning. And like I said, unfortunately, there is no shortcuts. And yeah, that's why I decided to make this podcast, because I want people like me to know that you're not going crazy. You're not feeling these emotions, just it's not just you. Everyone feels them, and it's a part of the process, and it's something that you can't go over. It's something you have to go through and just keep going and keep pushing through every day, even on the bad days. Because yes, you see me right now, the way you see me, and you would think, oh, she's getting better. And maybe a lot of people think that as well. Like, I go out now, the first few months I did not leave my house, um and now I get ready, and now I go out, and now I laugh and enjoy myself. And maybe people think she's getting better, but it's just, and it's just, it all comes in waves. And like, yes, I might be good one day, and the next day I might not be good. And it's not something that I want to drown myself in. It's just something that I feel. It's a feeling that you can't push away. As much as you want to push that feeling away, you can't. There's no pushing it out of your life. You have to just feel all the emotions. And I don't know how long I would feel this way. Maybe a lot of people have told me that it's a lifetime of sadness. Um, but it's also a lifetime of joy, that you learn how to coexist with joy and sadness at the same time. It's only been 8 months for me, but I'm here, and I want to be that story that will uplift you. I want to be the story that you tell someone else. It is not the greatest story you want to tell someone else. It's not the best group you want to be in, the grieving group, the lost child group. But is definitely an amazing community that has helped me, and I definitely want to be that part of that community that helps others as well. So that is the biggest purpose. My biggest purpose is Reinita. The biggest purpose is also to share my story and help others understand, and maybe get through the grief, maybe not completely, but understand it a little more. Understand that, like, all the emotions that you feel are okay, and you're not going insane. And yeah, you guys, um, thank you guys for being here, and thank you guys for listening to me. I hope that next time I'm a little less camera shy, because this is my first time actually speaking to the camera. Um, but yeah, episode one. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe it wasn't as long as I thought it would be, but there's not much I could say about myself. I do have a Q&A that I want to answer, but it was like a bunch of random questions. It wasn't more like questions of myself. So I couldn't really add that on, but I do want to answer all those questions in a separate video. So yeah, you guys, stay tuned to episode number two. Episode number two is going to be Reinita's story, and it's probably going to be one of the hardest episodes that I record, but it is one of the main episodes that I want to share with you guys. Not a lot of people know my story. Um, well, Reina's story. Not a lot of people know why she passed away or how she passed away. So I want to share that story with you guys, and hope you guys stay tuned.